Tyler do battle. It looks like Ian's on 6 cards and Tyler's on 4. Looks to be the case here. These players will be given the green light. It's the start of game number 3. Spire of Industry, Voltscourge.
It's Ian who is on.
Ian's on 4.
And that's a rough place to be against any deck, obviously, but post-board, Burn just loads up on so much removal. He gets so much better at trading 1 for 1.
Bloodstained Mire here for Tyler Schmidt. Jensen should be down to 18 from the Voltscourge. Schmidt looks like he might just search up a basic mountain. Might go to Goblin Guide here. And that's what it'll be. Trigger, attack you. Maybe help undo the mulligan a little bit. Arcbound Ravager could be a useful card, depending on what Ian Jensen's hand is.
I get a little bit conservative with Goblin Guide against opponents, even opponents like Affinity who are on 4-card hands. For example, if I had Monastery Swiftspear, I would just lead there, because if they don't have enough material to work with, it doesn't really matter if you give up the 1 point there. I'm not saying you should not play Goblin Guide if that's your only play, but just as your opponent mulligans more and more, it sort of tilts in the direction of don't risk giving them the card.
Well, Jensen's looking at Darksail Citadel. There is an Arcbound Ravager. Not sure what else is hiding out over there. There's your Citadel. Here's your Ravager. Here's your attack for 1. Pass the turn back over to Tyler Schmidt. Schmidt will draw. Picked up an Arid Mesa. Doesn't look like the hand for Tyler Schmidt has a lot of interaction.
Yeah, he still has Skullcracks in his deck, which I am not a fan of in this matchup.
There's an Arid Mesa.
With the Searing effects and Smash the Smithereens, I just prefer a game plan of interact with them as much as possible while dealing damage along the way. The 2-mana spells that don't interact with the board have a really high burden, because the place where you're deficient in the matchup is with efficiency. You already have too many spells that are clunky, and so the ones that don't play very well, on top of that, I think it's usually best to get away.
Monastery Swiftspear and Lightning Bolt. The reveal is an Inkmoth Nexus. That'll draw Jensen a card. Now, if I am Ian Jensen in this spot, I might just shove it on the Voltscourge when I'm on a mulligan to 5. Depends on what the draw step is here.
If you can get the Voltscourge up to a 4/4, I think the argument's compelling.
At least 4 toughness.
Yeah, you can't just put a 3/3 out there. That's going to get you killed. But when you're on as few cards as Jensen is, if you have a reasonable window here, might want to take it.
Doesn't have a lot of material to work with, as you like to put it. And in spots like that, where you just kind of have to get lucky in the first place, hope they don't draw a Path to Exile or Smash Smithereens or some way to kill the thing, you are dodging Bolt and Searing Blood, Searing Blaze, stuff like that. So.
Right, I mean, you gotta be realistic about what are my odds that I can beat a Path to Exile anyway.
There's a block. He's going to turn into a 3/3. I'm a little surprised.
This line makes me a little uncomfortable because, as you mentioned before, and I was talking about, if you can get this thing up to 4 toughness, you're fading a lot of the potential removal spells. At 3 toughness, Rift Bolt, Lightning Bolt, the Searing effects, they're all live.
There's a Signal Pest. Here comes a Mox Opal. Yeah, it had the ability to turn Voltscourge actually into a much bigger creature.
Yeah, and then if Schmidt's not got it, you are a
you
heavy
2
favorite.
turns.
Right.
Yeah. Lava Spikes the draw. And truth be told, I actually kind of like Goblin Guy to be on the battlefield, maybe giving me a couple extra cards.
Yeah, small consideration, but definitely it tilts more in the direction of just hold off and try to get to a 4/4.
Tyler Schmidt picked up a copy of Lava Spike this turn.
So from Schmidt's perspective here, I think he's debating about whether or not he wants to cast the Spike here to pair with one of the 2-mana spells. I err on the side of just past the turn with the intent of skull cracking, you're probably going to get an opportunity to get the prowess trigger be worth a point of damage. And I really don't want to take 2 points of damage fetching up a Sacred Foundry right now if you can avoid it. It is a damage race. And if the upside is minimal on casting 2 spells this turn, which I think it is, then I would have a preference for just save yourself the 2 points, Skullcrack, fetch tapped, and then go into your turn with Skullcrack plus Boros Charm.
Blinkmoth Nexus of the draw and the play. Here's an attack with Inky, Signal Pest, and Vault Scourge. Skullcrack is going to make it so the Vault Scourge does not gain any life here. I think I got a little bit of interest in pumping up the Inkmoth Nexus. If we're going to do this, might as well do it all the way, I think.
Yep. But Schmidt's still not at much risk of getting killed next turn. The Vault Scourge does have the potential to swing the damage race quite a bit, however.
Well, maybe you're not supposed to pump with the Blinkmoth Nexus. You might have some interest in blocking. You could just die.
Well, let's see. You would need to have 3 1-mana spells kills you for sure. If it's Boros Charm plus a 1-mana spell, you're looking at 10.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just don't buy. I guess I don't buy that the poison damage is likely to be how this game breaks.
Yeah, me either. That's why I'm thinking now the Inkmoth Nexus maybe should have hung back.
Yeah.
I think you might be interested in just chump blocking.
So Schmidt really would love a removal spell here. If he can answer the Vault Scourge, I think he's in really good shape.
Another copy of Boros Charm.
So let's do the math here. That's 9 damage. That gets Jensen down to 2. Or excuse me, down to 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Vault Scourge brings him up to 4, and the Boros Charm is still lethal the next turn. So if all goes well, Jensen doesn't draw something like Cranial Plating or Arcbound Ravager, some other way to draw the Vault Scourge, you've got it. You're not dead on the table, and even if Jensen gains 3 life, you're still fine.
Here's Lava Spike.
But a lot can go wrong.
Absolutely. Here's Boros Charm. Put you to 4.
And to your point, if Schmidt had gone, on my turn, I'm going to play Lava Spike and attack you, I'm absolutely chump blocking here.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that the Nexus is not available might end up getting Jensen killed.
Let's see what this draw was. That was an Ornithopter.
And Schmidt has got the game sealed up now. No, actually, sorry.
No, he goes up to. He
gets the one off the. He gets the one off the signal pass.
Yeah, he goes up to 5. So long as he remembers his battle cry trigger, he goes up to 5. So Tyler Schmidt would have to draw another burn spell that costs 1 mana.
Or a removal spell for something.
Yep.
This was a really gutsy line from Jensen. I was not a fan of at the time, but it looks like it might be enough to get this game done.
So there's your battle cry trigger. Gain 4 life, go up to 5. Schmidt will take 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, he's got to draw a 1 mana spell to probably get this done. Don't know what this is. I think it might be. I don't have a great look.
If it's a Goblin Guide, that's no good.
Mm-hmm.
Because Jensen is now equipped with 2 chump blockers back.
I think it was a Goblin Guide. Tyler Schmidt has set those cards out. He's trying to figure out if there's a way he can get this done. It's going to be tough. I think you just got to play Goblin Guide and hope that Jensen doesn't block both creatures.
Yeah, I mean, your 2 cards have, they only have the modes they have.
Mm-hmm. Well, here's an attack for 1. Well, that's an easy block for Ornithopter. Yeah. Let's see, what card is this? Maybe that's not Goblin Guide. What is that? Smash the Smithereens?
Is that some weird promo Smash the Smithereens?
Okay, that's what that is. Okay.
Okay.
So Ornithopter's dead too. Okay, then he's very much in this game.
Yeah. I thought that was Goblin Guide.
Same.
It was smashed to smithereens.
Yep.
Then I think Jensen is still drawing at the minimum to cranial plating.
Ornithopter, that's, yeah, Boros Charm wins it now.
Yep. And now Schmidt actually has the check mark.
Yeah, we've gone back and forth quite a bit here, but it was actually a top deck smash to smithereens. That looks like it's going to win Tyler Schmidt the match. So here's an attack. Signal past Battle Cry trigger. It's going to make it. So he goes to 1, and a Boros Charm is going to get the job done. Tyler Schmidt's going to win this game and match her over Ian Jensen. 2 games to 1. Burned is going to take care of Affinity, and for Tyler